for joining us on a special review episode of the Super Co-op Squad podcast. We are a group of gamers who love movies, games, comics, and pop culture in general. Every week we sit down and go over news, reviews, rumors, and our views and bring them to you. This is the episode review type. I am your host, Johnny, and I'm joined alongside my co-host, Garrett.
Howdy.
And my co-host, Joshua.
Shiny!
And we'll be reviewing Disney's Moana. So, really quick, this is a movie review. We will review the movie. End of spoiler warning.
Makes sense.
Yep, that is pretty cut and dry there.
I think I got it.
Yeah. Hopefully you did too. Alright, guys, so we're going to hop right into this movie. So, guys, going into the movie, what was your thoughts?
I didn't think much of it because I didn't see a whole lot of trailers. It looked like a cross between Frozen and Brave, based on a female protagonist, and just the art direction and where the animation was. I thought it was a nice blend between the two.
Okay.
Me being the big Disney fan I am, I was looking forward to this for quite some time. So I was glad to finally see it. Funny that you mentioned that it looks like Frozen and Brave. Really only because Frozen also did it's by the Walt Disney Animation Pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Not Pixar, which Brave is, but I see where you were going.
Yeah, I went into it and I was pretty excited for it. I've enjoyed what they've done, Walt Disney Animation specifically. In the last couple of years, last couple of movies, they did a great job kind of having a Pixar kind of take on movies where they create great characters and great stories. They do songs a lot better than Pixar does. I'll give them that.
I agree.
Yep.
Yeah, they do songs a lot better.
I agree.
But much like you, Joshua, I went into it not really knowing what it was about. There wasn't a lot of movie trailers for it. You know, in the last 6 months that I've seen that one picture where they show either the two characters, you know, on a billboard or like a picture of a girl on a boat, like and just like the oncoming waves at her.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I've really seen from it. But, you know, knowing the track record of Walt Disney Animation, I was looking forward to it greatly. So, yeah, it had me going in. So leaving the theater, how did you feel?
I thought it was awesome. Of course. I mean, it's a Disney movie.
Yeah,
but
a Disney guy.
It's not always that cut and dry. It was funny because I took my wonderful girlfriend, who did not want to see that movie at all. And she left very happy with that movie.
Nice.
So that was cool.
I saw it late last night because I didn't get a chance to see it for the most part all week, and I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. There were a couple things that I would have liked a little bit better, but overall, it was really fun to watch. And
Yeah.
I watched it by myself. I'm usually not a solo artist when it comes to going to watch movies, but it was a movie I did enjoy by myself.
Nice. Quick side note, I love watching movies by myself. I like just sitting there, pop my feet up, bunch of candy, popcorn. But, yeah, no, I left the theater and I felt the same way. I really enjoyed it. It was fun. It was funny. There were some things we'll get into that I think they could have changed or done differently, but it was a good movie to watch, and I think kids will really enjoy it as well as adults. So general plot, ancient Polynesia, you know, sometime long ago, terrible curse kind of befalls all the islands in the region. Kind of happens by Maui, a demigod who steals the heart, kind of a magical stone, from another god.
Te Fiti.
Te Fiti, there we go, thank you. And as the curse affects the islands, the fish disappear, everything dies, there's no food, and kind of a young impetuous chieftain's daughter, she answers the ocean's call to seek out the demigod to get the stone back and set it back in its proper place to heal the world, essentially. And that's kind of where we go from there for the general plot of the movie. What do you think about this kind of plot? Was it cookie cutter? Was it good? Was it bad?
I thought it was interesting to see that with all the marketing that was shown, you see both Moana and Maui. And to find out that this kind of curse is happening because of Maui, I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Not only that, when you see whatever small trailers there were, you think it's a journey about companionship from the get-go when it wasn't really about that. You just run into someone that's supposed to be an enemy, supposed to be the one that is actually, trying to take over the world, so to speak. And it wasn't like that at all. He was just, you find out later on that he was trying to help people, but in his own, not even really selfish way, but ended up doing more to hurt the world than to help it.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool with Maui in particular. We'll come to Moana a little bit, but like you said, he wasn't necessarily a hero. He was a guy who did good things, I suppose.
Well, he was hero to all. Hero to man.
Hero to men and
woman.
Yeah, don't forget that. 2 women too.
But yeah, I mean, he was a character who he did great things, good things, but he wasn't altruistic. He didn't do this for the good of people. He did it for himself. He did it because he wanted to be a hero.
Yes,
that's all he cared about. And even up into the point, even throughout the movie, he only helps Moana because he again wants to be the hero of people, of all people.
So amazing.
Yeah. And that was a cool way to take it. You don't have very many characters in Disney films of any type who are ambiguous in that matter. There's either good or there's evil. There's this line drawn, and that's it. And they didn't have that. It was, here's this guy who's kind of good. He does good things, maybe not for all good reasons, but here he is, and you judge what kind of character he is. And that doesn't happen very often, which is really cool.
Right. I want us to start at the beginning, which I thought was one of the cutest scenes I've seen in a long time.
Baby Moana.
Baby Moana.
Yeah.
Is just, Grammy's telling a story to all the kids, and kids are just kind of freaking out when all the monsters fall from the drapes. Kid was like, I'm going to throw up! I'm going to throw up! And just for her to kind of venture off by the ocean, and then the ocean calls out to her, and then the ocean just kind of parts a little bit, and she finds a seashell. She walks out, finds another one. The ocean just keeps opening up. That was awesome. Saving the little baby turtle. That's probably from Finding Nemo.
I thought that too.
No.
I mean, it can't be. It can't be because
Yeah, of course. But that was just adorable to watch, and it all flowed really well, in my opinion.
Now maybe instead of Squirt, that was his dad. Because remember, he's like 150 years old.
Crush,
yeah.
Dude.
So who knows? But yeah, I did have that thought. Yeah, the opening was good. It set up things very well. The exposition. I mean, I'm such a critic that I can't just look at it, but that exposition scene with the grandma talking about Maui and this and that and like showing the kids, that was a good way to have that scene done. The worst scene in a movie is the exposition where they break down the story for you, just watching people talk about something about the situation and how it got there. And they did it in a really fun, cool way, and that's not always easy to do. So I appreciated that. Yeah, the opening was good. I think they set up Moana, and then they had the song kind of montage as she grew up. That was done fairly well, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, How Far I'll Go is one of the top songs I liked in this movie.
Well, no, How Far I'll Go is the song that she sings, right?
Yeah. Or did you mean the...
I mean the montage as far as like as they showed her get older as the chieftain.
Oh,
yeah. He was singing, and then eventually she grows up, and then she sings after the fact when she decides to join.
Yeah, so it shows her growing up, and it shows her fascination with the ocean and exploration and new things, but she has a responsibility to her village and to her people to be the chieftain. And I thought that was pretty cool, showing that kind of that separate parts of the same character. And I loved how they put the two together so that she was doing the right thing for the right reason, because the bad times come and the curse happens and she wants to go explore, but she needs to stay. And she finds out that she needs to leave to help her people. So she gets to do what she wanted to do to help her people, which is awesome.
Atypical Disney princess is you kind of go against the grain and you run away or you rebel, where in this case it wasn't really like that. She actually found out what came to be her destiny in this sense to do that.
Right. Yeah, they did kind of buck the trend because she didn't rebel against what her family wanted. She was willing to do what her family wanted, and then when it finally came down to her needing to do what needed to be done, even if that just so happened to coincide with what she wanted, she still took care of her people. She didn't shirk the responsibility or run away, which is cool. That happens all the time in Disney.
How many times did Daddy have to grab her from going to the ocean?
For
all those years, that must have been a tough gig.
I thought that was funny because in the beginning she's like 2, and I'm like, who lets their 2-year-old just walk to the ocean and she could drown right now? Like, what are you doing? So I thought that was kind of funny. But
I do want to point out that in this movie they do differentiate Disney princesses and Chieftain's daughter. Pocahontas is not a Disney princess.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're really
I
gonna
like
say
Pocahontas. That? She's not a Disney princess.
Well, why? Why is she not a Disney princess?
Same reason Moana isn't.
Moana is a Disney princess, sir.
She is a chieftain's daughter. Soon to be a chief.
Okay, so some cultures don't say king and queen and prince and princess.
I know.
So how come this culture can't? I mean, a chief is the king of his
Because
people.
it's a Disney princess.
So they can't have-
It's specifically princess.
There's
Not,
why
there's
does
tiaras. It's,
why does her culture
it's a hat.
not get to have like
I'm not saying it's not an equal to a princess,
so why?
but
So,
it's not a princess.
so she's a Disney chieftain's daughter.
Yes, along with Pocahontas.
Wow, I disagree with that mightily, but okay.
It's terminology.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so we kind of move into her going into her adventure and having, the started with her grandma kind of like guiding her a little bit, then turning into, what was she, a stingray? A
Yeah.
manta?
I'm glad I got this. I chose the right tattoo.
Yeah, that was really cool. I thought it was kind of sad seeing. They have a shot where Moana's out in sea, looking back at the island when her grandmother is passing away, and you see this just kind of wave happen across the island, and then you see the stingray or manta ray,
Whatever, yeah, stingray, manta ray.
the ray, just kind of go along with that push
The
or
wave,
that
yeah.
force, and then it shoots out into the ocean, guiding the way that Moana goes.
Mhm.
I thought that was really both sad and I want to say a nice tribute.
It
I
was a
guess.
nice touch, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
touched it.
It adds context because you find out later in the movie that Grammy was, essentially reincarnated, I guess you could say, or the spirit of that, and that shows that she probably passed away at that moment and then became the Mrs. Ray, we can say.
Mrs. Ray.
And then Ford just watching over Moana the entire time, it looks
Mhm.
like.
One thing I thought was pretty interesting was every single Disney movie, or most Disney movies, they have like, especially with princesses, they have, your comedic character or your cute little like pet, and I thought it was so funny because they fooled everybody. They had the cute little pig following her around, and they made jokes and this pork is yummy, and he looked at her like, you're eating pork.
What?
It's like, yeah, no, I mean, okay, gotta go buy.
Yeah, and so I'm thinking, okay, like he's gonna follow her along, like this is gonna be her cute companion, and they had the like
Hey.
half stupid like lame bird,
With a lazy, two
two
lazy eyes.
lazy eyes, like follow her, and I'm thinking like the whole time, right when they showed him, like where's the pig, and they never had him. It was like a switcheroo.
Yeah. How hard did you laugh when Hey screamed? Like I saw that coming that Hey was gonna scream out of the coconut. He looks over, ocean. Looks the other way, ocean, and then
With the coconut over his head,
Yeah.
silence him.
Yeah, they had a lot of pretty funny bits with him. It was good little like breaks. So he was definitely a good character. I think it's better than the pig. The pig wouldn't have had as much comedic value
not at all.
as the chicken.
Yeah, looking back at it, no, that especially later on, there was even more scenes. We'll get to that when we get to it. But.
I got kind of tired of Hey after a while.
Really?
He was very funny, but it came to a point where like something serious is happening. Cut to Hey, to kind of ease the tension, and I got kind of tired of that. Like there was a forceful storm happening, and then let's put Hey in here. Hey's now rocking back and forth, kind of thing, bumping his head all over which way. Which I get it, comedic, but just kind of got tired of it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there. It did get overruled a little bit, but I think that in the long run they shortened that up a bit and they gave somewhat use, like when he was trying to eat food and then
Yeah, I love
and
those.
then Maui just kind of tilts his head around like,
Fatten him
no,
up.
eat the food, gotta fatten you up because chicken.
So going into Maui, she travels across the ocean to find this guy, and I mean, clearly she would never have found him otherwise without the ocean. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
No way she would have found him. But she
She
finds him.
was following the hook, the star.
Yeah, but she couldn't sail.
Well,
No.
well, not only that, she wakes up and then freaks out because no, you're supposed to guide the way, and where am I at? The hook's here.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ocean lets her. I wonder if she was ever in any danger of drowning. Like the ocean doesn't help her when her boat capsizes, and she's like, ocean, help me, and the storm comes. Do you think she would have died? I don't think she would have. I think she was never in any kind
To
of
further
danger.
the plot, she would not have died.
Right. But yeah, so Maui comes on, and he's on his island, and you kind of meet him for the first time. What were your thoughts of Maui as a character, and kind of Dwayne The Rock Johnson playing that character?
So Dwayne The Rock Johnson, I felt, was a good fit for Maui. Being not saying that The Rock, as I'll always call him, is egotistical, but he's very, what's the word I'm looking for?
Well, no,
outspoken.
yeah.
He's a big kind of confident kind of type. So to have this person voice Maui, who is all about himself, and he's the best, he's amazing, hero to all. I thought it was a good fit. I just didn't like Maui's face.
Wow.
I felt it was too scrunched up. There was too much head, but the face didn't add to that. I don't know if that's because he's a demigod, or maybe that's why we find out later that his parents, toss him aside. I don't know.
Because he was ugly?
Because he had
You think his parents
he had
didn't want him because he was ugly?
He had a
Penguin did the same
Minecraft
thing.
block face.
Penguin did the same thing happened to Penguin, in Batman. But I just think other than that, I mean, of course, I got used to it, and Maui was very funny and just a fun character to see on screen. But yeah, that was my thoughts on Maui.
Yeah, I liked his character. I thought he was a little too bulky at first because he had a big body, and then it almost looked like he was kind of chunky versus strong. And then they humanize him though. He has long hair, which is cool. He has a little gap between his teeth, which is just a regular dude, half human, half. I don't even know. You can't even really say he's half god or not. He has a little statue that he made for himself in there.
Who makes a statue of yourself?
Well, he was there for how?
So you make a statue of you?
Yeah, I mean, you got nobody else there.
You can make works of art. You can do
He's
whatever
not
you want.
earning any tattoos in that cave. So
well, if he's in it for him, he's making a statue for him. So when he saves the world, he goes back. He's like, "Hey, this is the statue I made for you guys to worship me on." Or
that says a lot that you're stuck on a desert island, so you make a statue of yourself.
That's Maui.
Yeah.
Well, what did he have to work with
His
besides rocks?
other friends, family, the view, paint a picture
with rocks or in
He
sand?
didn't know his family.
I mean, he knew people. He must know someone.
Well, he said he couldn't swim anywhere, so
Right, but instead of making a statue of you, maybe someone that you've met, maybe a good friend, maybe one of the gods. Maybe if you make one of the gods, maybe they'll get you off the island.
But we don't.
But instead, you're over here like making a shrine to yourself. I'm just saying that come on, guy.
It's Maui. It wouldn't have been anything else.
I suppose. I guess it fits him. No, I liked the character. I thought that the way that they created him was awesome. I mean, he looked like a big, strong Polynesian man. Polynesian men typically aren't very thin. They're bulky. They're strong. They're big, upper bodies. Stockier at times. So I think it would have been very false to have made him traditionally like thin with like a strong upper body and this 6-pack type thing. I like the fact that they did something different with the character. They gave him the long hair. They kept him true to the culture, and that's what I really liked about him. I also like just the way he spoke, and like he did his Yahoo! I love that, man. Like that was like perfect for that kind of character. And then to talk about what you did, Garrett, with the Rock himself being kind of egotistical. I mean, maybe not personally, but that's his flavor. That's his flair. I mean, I'm not a wrestling
You
fan,
smell
but
what Rock's cooking?
yeah, exactly. Like I'm not a wrestling fan, but I know what Rock has done there. I've seen excerpts from him in the ring, and that's the kind of guy he is. He just exhibits just like cockiness,
the people's elbow.
Yeah, he's just
it
like
fit that
this
role
dude,
really
man.
well.
Definitely.
Yeah, he did. I kind of didn't like the song though.
I didn't know it
You're
was
welcome?
a song at first.
I love
Like, at
You're
first-
Welcome. That's one of my favorite songs.
At first, he was just talking, and I knew it was breaking into a song, but it almost didn't rhyme, and it was like off because
He was like rapping.
yeah, it's like a half sentence with a sentence, then another. I was like, wait, what? I'll wait it out.
Completely disagree with you guys.
I liked it
Yeah.
towards the middle, and then what I liked about the song is towards the back end they added 3D animation with 2D animation, and they kind of mixed palettes and whatnot. I
Yeah.
thought that was pretty cool.
So what was interesting to me? I kept getting this view or the way that they modeled the 3D characters. It looked very stop animation type at times. Did you guys notice that at all? Like it looked like it was like molded 3D clay characters at times. There's very specific
I didn't see
scenes
that.
where they didn't look like normal 3D animation. It was different. It was good, but very different.
I didn't,
No, you didn't
see
notice
that.
it?
No.
All right, I thought it was cool. So moving forward in the plot.
Oh, one thing I want
go
to
ahead.
add about that.
Go ahead.
In that particular scene, Moana jumps on the statue and pushes that big ass statue
Yeah.
with her feet against. Like that can't happen. The rock is not that light where you can push that and make that super high jump to the little rocks up top. Like,
Yeah, that was a little bit of a movie.
that was
magic
too
there.
over the top for me.
Yeah, it was a bit much, but I mean, it's a movie where the
Further the
ocean
plot.
is speaking to her, so
Yeah, and it
You
also
gotta-
gives you abilities to push rocks against another rock.
Yeah, no, you're right. She wouldn't have been able to move it. But, I mean, she's the chosen one, so maybe she's just strong.
No, Neo's the chosen one.
Yeah.
Not Moana.
So, we kind of move forward in the plot, and, she has to kind of convince him to help her. And they have this, like, little scene with, like, fighting the little pygmy thing. So, how'd you guys feel about the pygmies?
Coconuts?
Coconut things, yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, that was really funny. I like how they, like, wrote their, like, emotions on their faces. That was so good.
They remind me a lot of Shy Guys. Just with the helmets or the faces, the masks.
Got little needles, and they didn't speak, but you can tell what they wanted to say based on their actions. And it was just a fun little excerpt.
Yeah, that was a funny scene.
I thought one of the coolest parts was he kept throwing her overboard. And the ocean kept putting her back. That was pretty good. I also like that they made time to have a few jokes in there that just are over the children's head type thing. Where, like, there was a point where he was starting to teach her how to sail, and like, put your hand in the water. If you go the way, the water gets warm.
Cold. Oh, anyway, it's warming up.
Ew!
That was funny.
There was a few of those.
See a
in
smile
there.
on his
I was
face.
surprised that was in the movie too, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, no kid was gonna get that, man. That they would not have got it. But yeah, no, I thought that part was good. They had some good comedy. That middle bit, I think it dragged a little bit in the middle, just trying to convince him, and then going to get his hook. I hated that song, by the way.
Shiny with the crab.
The crab.
That was even weirder than the "You're Welcome" song.
Yeah, that song was a bit weird, but.
He flipped a coin and turned it into a disco ball in the water.
So this is a problem that happens a lot in Disney films. Maybe just in Disney films where the villain songs, they usually suck.
Yeah, you have to have at least one bad guy song.
I absolutely disagree. Ursula's song in Little Mermaid.
That's one of the only good ones.
Scar, Be Prepared.
Okay, that's a good one.
Cruella doesn't actually sing that. It doesn't actually sing it. That's a good song, but she doesn't actually sing it.
No, she doesn't, but it's not a good song, no.
I completely disagree.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like their songs are...
Elsa was supposed to be a villain.
I know.
Until that song.
I know.
I agree with Johnny. There are more villain songs that aren't as catchy or appealing than there probably could be.
To be fair, I don't think they're supposed to be. It's the villain. They can, but I think to kind of make a villain song amazing kind of draws children to villains and be like that kind of thing. I can see where that could be impressionable.
Like it's like you're taking a timeout from listening to like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. That song was terrible.
No, not all of them. I mean, there was
the villain song.
The villain song.
That was a terrible song.
But there's good music though.
There is good music in it. I'm just saying, like I almost always am like, all right, villain song. Let me just not listen because this song sucks.
I think it's a poor choice to make.
Well, okay. Did you like this one, the crab song? No, it was terrible.
It was terrible, man.
It was terrible.
But I don't agree with the generalization of Disney songs have bad villain music. Or bad villain
maybe
songs.
not. I don't think it's... I think if we went down a list of track records of, like, the villain songs, I think you'd pick more that were bad than good.
King Louis?
Okay, he's not really a villain.
He's a villain.
But that is a good one.
He's a villain in that movie.
That's a good one.
Ooby-doo.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right. So let's go ahead and break down the cast before we get into the end of the movie there. So we had Aluli Cravalho, and I know I probably just destroyed that name. But
I'm sorry, guys. We're probably going to ruin it.
Yeah, I'm really sorry.
I think it's Alui
Cravalho. So that's Moana. I don't know her, so she might be just maybe a voice actor or newer to the movie scene.
I think she's new. I think they cast her for the character. I think she's a new blood.
Okay, yeah, she had a great voice, great song.
Yeah.
I think she did a really good job as like making that character young and kind of learning, but also strong and very determined. That's not always easy to do.
Yeah, what I also like was when Moana's singing. I don't think you see this in a lot of Disney movies. I haven't really noticed it in Frozen, but you actually see like her vocals and like her voice and her mouth moving with the song as her pitches go up and down.
Wow.
So that was something that stuck out to me, where that shows you where the animation is going and they're making it more realistic, and that just shined throughout that song.
Yeah, no, it was masterfully done. Now correct me if I'm wrong, Garrett, but in many Disney movies and just animated films, the voice actor isn't always or normally the person that is the singing voice actor. Is that correct?
That does happen more often than not. That the singer and the actor are not always one and the same.
Right. So, when they're speaking and then when they're singing, those are two different people. And this is not the case, I believe, in this one. This is actually her singing, correct?
Yes, this is actually her singing as well as The Rock singing.
Yeah, man.
The Rock was singing that song?
That was The Rock.
Yeah, I heard him and I was like,
Yeah, he didn't do too bad.
No, it fit.
I was very surprised to find out that Aladdin's singing voice is not the
Yeah,
same
it's
as
not. I
Nope.
knew that.
Scott Wagner.
But yeah, so she did an amazing job, and I think my wife touched on it before, but she's the character that Meredith should have been to Disney from Brave. Or is it Merida? Merida.
Merida, but I know what you're talking about.
Right. So, her movie just fell flat. She was a very strong character. When you watch the trailers and you just look at her, she evokes this sense of like independence and strength.
Merida.
Yeah, Merida
Okay.
does. But her movie just fell so flat that you don't really get that impression of her.
Yeah.
And with Moana, you see just her drive and her strength, and that character really resonates with you throughout the entire film.
That brings up a good point. Is it because if we know this strong female characters, we have Elsa, we have Moana. These are even I forgot her name, but from Wreck-It Ralph, the
Vanellope? Oh, you're talking
No.
about like the Gears of War
Yes.
type? Yeah, okay. You're talking
I forgot her
about-
name, but Walt Disney Studios has a way of making strong female characters. Pixar hasn't really done that very often, if at all.
No, they haven't. But I think even with Walt Disney Animation, this is a new kind of development. Before it wasn't like that. It was damsels in distress and Princess Jasmine needs Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast and Belle needs there was more of that stuff. And they've only recently begun doing that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Was Rapunzel from
Tangled?
Tangled? Yeah. Where would you put her?
She'd be somewhere in the middle. That might have been kind of the beginning
Yeah.
transition to strong female character. You don't need a man. But at least with Pixar, they don't have very many films that have a damsel in distress. Typically.
No, but do they really have that many female characters at all? I mean, Toy Story, we got Bo
Bo
Peep.
Peep, yeah. Then you got Mrs. Potato Head. She's a female.
Strong female?
Well, no, but I'm just saying
Not,
that they
not
don't
a
have.
lead.
I'm just saying
if
that
anything.
Pixar may not have strong female leads, but they also don't have these damsels in distress as examples for young girls.
Yeah.
They're just characters. There's no one that's I need a man to save me. It's just these are their Pixar characters. They don't necessarily need a man. The man's not saving a girl. They're just stories.
True.
And I think Disney's making a strong change, a very important change. Because it's not cool, man, that, the 60s, 70s, and 80s, all of Disney movies were these girls that needed a man to kiss them or save them or do this or do that. Even Little Mermaid, she wasn't the hero of the story, She needed the human Eric to save her. That's not cool. But yeah, this movie is definitely changing that. There weren't a lot of supporting cast in this character because the movie was mostly, Maui
those
and
two.
Moana,
Yeah.
and just those two. But for what we did see from Grandma and Chief Tui, who was played by Timorio Morosin for Chief Tui, and Rachel House for Grandma Tala, were these characters good? They created a good impression at the beginning of the movie, or
Definitely the grandma. I think everyone can agree that Grandma Tala was a pretty important supporting character.
oh yeah, she did
Yeah,
well.
she was kind of creepy though when she was showing Moana.
The cave?
Yes,
Yeah, that was a little bit crazy. You
Got
know
a
what's
little
funny?
Twisted.
I thought the whole time when she passed the movie, I'm thinking, man, you left that to the last second, lady. Like,
Yeah.
you gave yourself mere hours to tell her destiny, show her the boat, and get
If
her on her
that.
way. Yeah,
If
if that.
that.
So if she would have been somewhere else, or you wouldn't have found her in time because you're pretty slow, what would you have done?
I thought of it because I did notice the time between her telling Moana about the cave and the ancestry and her passing, and I actually looked at it from a different point of view. I looked at it as she did what she was meant to do by passing on this knowledge to Moana, and now it's time for her to pass. Kind of like not she has the choice between life and death, but kind of like fates had it so that this needs to be done. When this is done, you can pass.
You can like rest now.
Yes, that's how I saw
Okay,
it.
I guess that's one way to look at it. I don't look at it that way. I look at it like you just got lucky because you could have been like, "Where's Moana?" And just died. But
But yeah, literally to the last second. But I thought it was somewhat coincidental that after she showed Moana that cave, that she all of a sudden is sick, and at
Yeah,
the
they
end of her
didn't
life,
really show that any other scene with
That she
Grandma
was weak
Tala,
or gonna
that
die.
that she was feeling ill.
yeah, it just kind of happened. So we kind of move into the end of the movie there, and Maui gets his hook, and they're all friends now, and everything's hunky dory, and then they come up to what's the molten lava monster thing?
Taka, I believe.
Taka, that's what it is. So Taka, and they can't get by, and his hook cracks, and then he bounces. He's like, nah, man, like if I lose his hook, I don't have my powers. I'm not powerful anymore. And he leaves her. And then you have the Lion King scene. You know I'm talking about the Lion King scene? When Grandma Tui or Grandma Tala comes back.
Oh, the spirit comes back?
Yeah, her
like when
spirit
Mufasa comes through the
Simba.
clouds? Yeah.
That was that's what I thought of immediately. I'm like, okay, we're doing a Lion King.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
You have to, again, as Gary likes to say, to further the plot, you have to bring in
I thought it was kind of weird that Moana was actually able to touch.
Yeah.
Normally when they show spirits like that, it's kind of like, it's not a written code, but okay, the spirits on this side, the characters on that side.
There's
they
a
don't
line.
they don't intermingle.
Yeah, they don't cross.
Yeah.
Until you want to reach out to the spirit, and then your
And it
hand
just
just kind of
goes right
washes
They
through.
disappear. Yeah. I
Yeah.
thought it was funny too that she hugged her.
A full-on
Yeah.
hug. Or, unless that was all in her head.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, she's
don't
been
know.
at sea for a while.
That is true. She was. Yeah, I thought that was funny too. Like, how are you surviving on the open ocean with nothing? Like, you don't have any shelter,
Food.
yeah, barely any food or
food,
water.
yeah.
Well, see,
you know how cold it gets on the ocean? You know how cold it is?
Yeah.
You'll freeze to death.
Yeah, DiCaprio died that way.
And she wasn't even like wearing.
There
like,
was enough room, Rose. You know there was enough room.
Selfish.
she wasn't even wearing like clothes, man. She had like a little like top on, and how was she alive?
She grew up like that? I don't know. Maybe it's the culture. Who knows?
I don't
Plot
know.
hole.
Yeah,
There's
plot
your one hole in the boat.
Plot hole in her plot boat, man.
Nope.
But yeah, I mean that scene was cool, even though it was very like, okay, here we go. Here's another Disney I come back from dead to inspire someone scene.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she needed-
I mean, she threw away the jewel, and she was like, you know what, Ocean, I'm done with you. Choose somebody else. Her hopes were shattered. And then, coincidentally, Grammy comes and saves the day.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's that coincidental, because she did say there's nowhere you'll go that I won't be there with you. So I do think the stingray or spirit of Grandma
The
Tala,
manta ray.
manta ray, was always kind of following her, watching her, kind of thing. And when she saw that Moana lost hope in herself, she's like, okay, I need to step in.
So next part, you say she threw that stone in the ocean. No freaking way she swims all the way down
to the bottom.
Yeah, get out of here, man! You're in the middle of the ocean. You can't swim all the way to the bottom, man. That stone is gone.
No, I mean, it can't actually be gone.
Okay,
the
she
ocean
could not
can
get to
still, Yeah.
It didn't look that deep when you look up from the ground
Yeah.
up.
First of all,
Like
you're in the middle of the
30,
ocean.
40
The
feet.
ocean is hundreds of feet deep. A
Not-
human can only swim with enough air to go up again, maybe 80 feet to go all the way down, to go 80 feet down and 80 feet up. That's all you got air for. If the ocean stops at 80 feet, but it doesn't, it goes way deeper.
Well, maybe not this ocean.
What do you mean this ocean?
We don't know which ocean this is.
It's the ocean, man. There's no difference.
I mean, there's different elevations.
Not at 80. No, dude, she couldn't.
It's a Disney
To
movie.
be fair, she was within range of an island, so there has to be a bottom somewhere.
Right, but not 80 feet, not enough for her to swim down and get the thing. Secondly, humans can't go past a certain depth or we will die. Like, you can't go down a certain depth without coming back up at a certain point and breathing a certain way.
Ocean was protecting her.
Okay, if that's the case, why wasn't she just like, Ocean, give me the stone back?
Because
It
that's
takes away
not-
the plot.
Exactly. And
No.
it takes away the feeling of she needs to reclaim this.
I mean, I guess they should have.
Ocean, forgive me. I want a second chance.
Right.
No,
I
no.
just thought, like, come on, man. Like, you really just showed her swim to the bottom of the ocean? Get out of here.
Yeah, she got to earn it.
I don't know. I wish they'd have done something a little bit different there. I thought that was for me, that was kind of cheesy.
Oh yeah, it was, but it's a Disney movie.
Yeah.
It happens.
It does. So, Maui comes back. She decides to go and confront Taka and get the stone back.
That was
And-
kind of cool. She somewhat outsmarted her.
So that scene was interesting to me. So she's trying to swim around the different like lava island parts and fool this lava monster, and the lava monster's putting its hand in the water. She can't move that boat fast enough to get out of the way of the lava monster. It's a boat, man. There's no motor. How is
No,
she moving so
current-
fast?
Current and waves and crashing against the tides. I know where you're going with this. You're taking too much consideration.
I mean,
into it.
I feel it would have been better if like she would have decided to come up to it and like found a way, and like the monster's like chucking rocks at her or something, and she's like, it's hopeless, I can't get by, and she's like about to like jump off the boat and like swim for it or something, and then Maui comes back, he turns into a whale or a shark
or half shark man.
or something, and like he hitches himself to the boat, and then the boat moves. Because how could she maneuver the boat that fast? Even if she can move the boat that fast, how can you change the direction the wind's going? If the wind's going one direction, you can't go the opposite.
Well, you saw how Maui did. He just jumps on the corner and just swings it around like a pole.
Yeah, I get it.
It's
I get
unrealistic,
it's a kids movie, but it was for me that was just a little too much. You guys didn't think that?
I mean, yeah, but
No, I was too busy enjoying the movie.
No,
I mean, it was a little bit, but I mean, it happens. Like it's a cartoon.
Yeah, it is a cartoon.
It's a cartoon.
I know.
If they did a live action Moana, then you can cry about how it's unrealistic.
Cinema Sins is gonna rip that a new one right there. Just pointing that out.
All right, looking forward to it.
So yeah, when Maui does come though, he comes and he fights, and I thought that was a good development part for him to change his mind and help her even at the expense of
His hook.
of his own hook and his own power. No thoughts on that, or just straight up?
Nothing else to really add to that.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I like that fight scene though, when he was turning into
Chopping
a hawk and chopping hands off and Jahooing all over the place. I was like, yeah, let's go, Maui.
Should have did that the first time. Although that clash did send him, I don't know how far back the first time.
Yeah, man, they would have died.
Yeah, but that was an interesting scene where you thought he was gonna fight him earlier on in the movie, but not really. And then they brought it back in an interesting way.
So did you guys expect? So at the end, when she's gonna put the heart, back in its place, and the island's not there, and she realizes that the lava Taka, the lava monster, is the island, is the god. Did you guys expect that, or
I did not
see it coming?
When they showed the kind of I guess over the top view, and there was a missing imprint in the ocean that was the shape of Te Fiti.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so this is what's happening.
So you knew?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
They make it almost immediately relevant afterwards because Moana looks at her and then
you see
it
the
shows
heart.
her.
You see the
chest
symbol.
piece. Yeah. For some reason, I thought the island was the same as
Te Fiti?
Yeah. In the beginning of the movie, because they kind of show a little backstory, but I thought that was the island that they were on.
Okay.
And she was like, the island's gone. And I thought that was her home. That was just completely gone. And I was like,
wow. No, I didn't think that. But yeah, I didn't expect Taka to be Te Fiti. Is that right?
That was a nice little plot twist.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. And then, she learns kind of not acceptance, but, I need to heal the world and help this monster, I guess. And I thought it was a subtle way to have a theme, a kind of message in the movie. It's protect our planet, we're doing all this stupid stuff to gain like Maui did. We're doing things to help ourselves, and it's hurting the world really badly. People don't understand how much the world is suffering. And right now we have giant, huge miles and miles of trash in places, trash islands, just places where there are pits of garbage and oil all over the place, and it's really bad. And I think this was a subtle message, hey, this world is something we need to take care of.
Yeah, it was interesting that Taka was created because the essentially life force of the world was taking from
absence
her.
of the heart.
Yeah, and almost immediately, Maui ends up fighting what he thinks is, a demon or devil or whatever. But that's ironic because he's the one that created that creature.
Yeah.
And Moana, I like that scene in the end where she confronts Taka because that was very empowering. That was the first time that she commanded the water, and the water did what she asked. She was like, "Let her come to me," and the water just created a complete path.
Yeah, I also like the fact that she created the solution. They could have easily had it be the opposite, where Taka and Te Fiti were separate entities, and Maui defeats Taka, and then she restores, but only through him beating the villain,
Yeah.
Well, that's how it looked like it was presented itself.
And instead, he helps her, sure, but he is ineffectual. He can't win. He's going to lose. And she saves him and saves the world. So he really had very little to do with it. I mean, not taking away from his character. His character was fun and did contribute, but I think it was very important to show she didn't need him. I mean, she was willing to do everything without him.
Well, I mean, if he wasn't there, she would have died.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that
just from Taka, just from that fight alone.
She probably, almost 100% she would have died.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that I like the fact that the solution was
just
her.
Needed her.
Yeah, she was her own hero. She didn't need him to save her. She didn't need him to do it for her or provide her the insight. And that's really empowering. I look more and more at just how important these movies are to children and the messages that these children see. And it makes a big impact. You look at Frozen and kids, I mean, maybe not at this point now, but for a year and a half, kids were singing that song all over the place. You couldn't get away from this song.
I still sing that song.
Not today, Garrett. Not today.
So, I mean, but yeah, so, Garrett, it's not a song for you.
I can't like the song because it's not geared towards me.
I'm just saying, like,
okay, WB, Warner Brothers. Too many girls are buying this toy. Let's cancel Young Justice.
What?
Get out of here.
He can't let it go, Johnny.
No.
But
oh man. But yeah, no, I mean these things are very they stick in the minds of kids a lot. So for them, I hope this is gonna be a movie that little girls play on repeat like Frozen, and they're gonna continue to see this strong character go save her people, go do us right, stand up for herself, be strong, and not need someone else to do it for her. And I think that's really cool.
Right, and that's what I meant by you pretty much touched up on all the good points.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. you got to lead somewhere. It's very empowering as not only a character but a female character. And Johnny, you said in a previous podcast that when it comes to TV shows and all these comics and characters, that there needs to be more female either lead roles or empowering female characters to that way. So that not only branches out to the younger female audience, but it also shows that females can also do things like save the world, not need a male character to save them, and they can be their own individual and be able to grow based on their own personal experience and not relying on someone else to help them along the way. Yes,
Right.
Maui helped Moana throughout the way, but she got to Maui on her own.
Yeah.
She
that's
got
right.
back particularly on her own.
Yeah.
And then ended up making those critical decisions on her own.
Yeah, very true. So we talked a little bit about songs. Did you guys enjoy the songs for the most part? Did you have a favorite song?
I do like You're Welcome. That was my favorite
Really?
song.
That's your favorite?
That's my favorite song.
Wow, that's surprising.
I like it.
Okay.
It was catchy towards the middle because he just come in and he's like, yeah, this and that, you're welcome. Like, that was catchy, but I do like the How Far I'll Go. That
Yeah.
was my second favorite, yeah.
that was my favorite. It was, especially with the rhythm, and they had the rhythm in there, and they had the different drum sets and the scenery and how the story was portrayed, especially when she's actually discovering that her tribe were explorers, and then they go back into singing again through that little scripted storytelling. That I think
That was a
made
really
an
cool
impact
scene.
on the movie based on the music and the flow of that. So that's why I like that song.
So I think after thinking about it for a while, I think I really didn't like You're Welcome and also the villain song, whatever nonsense that's called. Mostly because
Shiny.
Yeah. I'm shiny. I didn't like those now that I think about it because it pulled me out of the Polynesian culture, whereas all the other songs they evoke a very cultural feel. They have that
Using the
yeah,
instruments,
they have
it's
the
the
instruments,
style.
yeah, the style, the way they're singing, the accent, and that's part of the film because that's part of the culture that these people have and had at that point. So to make songs that were a little bit different from that, I think it not that it did a disservice to the movie, but it pulled me out of the world that you've created for me. Because there shouldn't be rap. There shouldn't be like this guy sing whatever the crab nonsense was singing. It should be songs that sound culturally like the ones that we see from the other people.
Yeah, I agree. Granted that the crab was technically in a different, not a
Realm.
different world, but he was in its own realm, and it was its own twisted,
Wasn't Polynesian.
crazy
exactly.
monster universe. So that song maybe didn't fit that particular moment in that realm, but
Mhm.
it was different from the island and the tribe. So I'm going to disagree with you there, where it does need a little bit of a break because it was a totally different scene altogether.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. But Maui's song should have most definitely had a very Polynesian ethnic feel to it. It didn't. Not saying that they couldn't have had the same song, but it should have had more.
More of a Polynesian feel.
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't like that as much. I felt that was a misstep and a slight one. You know, the song, again, it wasn't my favorite. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't my favorite. But, you know, they did well. But yeah, How Far I'll Go was an excellent song.
Yep. I do like Maui, kind of segueing back to him, how his tattoos were interactive throughout
Yeah,
the movie.
that was pretty
And
cool.
he's like flicking his chest, and then the tattoo kind of jumps to his back.
Yeah.
Talk to the back, and just boing, just kind of sits him back there. That was cool.
Yeah.
A little redundant at times, but it flowed real well.
Have
And-
you ever defeated a lava monster? No. Have you? One for Moana.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
He does get a Moana tattoo at the end, though,
Yes, he
Yeah,
does.
he does.
which is awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah, I thought it was a good film. So if we go ahead and rate this, if you're looking at it that way, is this a go watch it in theater? Is this a wait for the Target combo Blu-ray DVD pack? Or you wouldn't even watch this while you're waiting with your kids at the dentist office?
I will start off and say, go see this movie, guys.
All right.
Do all of them, but in the order you said it. Go watch the movie in theaters, and then when it comes out on DVD, Blu-ray, buy the movie because it's going to be great to watch. And if you happen to pick a movie at the dentist office and they have Moana, you put that movie on.
All right.
All of the above.
I'm torn here.
Oh, come on.
I'm torn a little bit.
Really?
Yeah. I thought the movie was good. And I'm only saying this for one reason. I don't know if the experience in the movie theater will be better than watching it on DVD or Blu-ray. There are some movies that you're like, man, that movie on the big screen, it was made and meant for this giant screen. And some movies, it doesn't matter. And this movie, although good, I don't think you would lose anything by watching it on DVD, Blu-ray. For instance, I even watched it in 3D. It didn't provide anything extra. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not saying don't go watch it, but what I'm saying is that it's not an experience that needs to be seen in theater.
That was one of the choices you gave us. Give a choice that you gave.
Go wait for the Target combo pack then. That would be my answer.
You sound
But only because you wouldn't lose any experience by waiting until you get it, to own.
So because
how's that the movie's fault though? We're rating the movie, not the movie experience.
Well, I mean, the movie creates the movie experience, right? Like
no, where you go and how you see it and who you're with creates the experience.
Okay,
it doesn't create the movie.
It's like watching the movie Interstellar. Did you watch Interstellar?
I did not.
Did you watch Gravity?
Nope.
Did you watch Inception?
Barely.
Good. So those are movies that the movie is better on the big screen. It is a better movie to watch than watching it at home. And that's not anything to do with what the movie, house did. It's not AMC didn't do that. The creators of the movie made the movie feel that way.
I disagree. I mean, if you like a movie, you watch it wherever you watch it. It doesn't matter if it's on a big screen surrounded by people or if it's at home in your living room. I'm
just saying that if I would have watched it at home, it wouldn't have mattered to me. Like, it was good, it was fun, but it didn't blow me away to like, man, I gotta spend money on this.
All right, we all have our opinions.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how I feel. I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize for your opinion.
So how about this, Johnny? If somebody, a stranger said, Johnny, should I see this movie right now
First
based
of all,
on the
how
experience?
does a stranger know your name? That's weird.
Yeah, how would he know who I am?
Because they're a fan of the Super Co-op Squad.
There you go.
There you go. All right, cool. If he asked me, should I go watch this, I would say you could watch it, but you can wait.
So you're still 50-50.
No, I am saying that it's good to watch. It's fun to watch, but it's not a must-see in theater. It's not, I gotta go, this is an experience I want to talk about right now or I need to see. It's not that kind of spectacle. So, yeah, wait for Target Blu-ray DVD. Okay. You're fine.
2-1.
I mean, it's not like... It's just our opinion.
I mean, because you also said wait till...
No, I said watch it in the movie, and then when it comes out, I didn't say wait. I said when it
2-2?
With
a go
sure, 1.5 to 1.5 with an inclusion of medical.
Wow. Yeah, so I mean, it was good, but yeah, I feel you.
Wow. Okay.
One thing I want to add to the end of the scene, I liked how Moana interacted with the ocean in the beginning. She finds a seashell. And when she comes back home, and she already accepted the role as, chieftain, but using the shell that the ocean pretty much provided her again, they use that as a symbol, as her stone and her symbol.
I have a thing about that, though.
Me too. I have. You want to go first? You can go first.
We might have the same one.
You go first.
So yes, I do think it's awesome that it was the same one. And it kind of shows that this is your stone. This is what your mark that you're leaving. The next chief cannot put a stone on that.
That is exactly
you have ruined tradition.
Oh yeah, I'm like, okay, so what does her daughter do?
How's
she gonna put
smash?
That was her way of saying, I'm not having any kids.
Someone's got to be the next chieftain.
So maybe she sets the precedence where it doesn't have to be a stone, but that does kill the whole tradition, though.
Yes.
Immediately.
Because now if it's seashells, they're gonna run out of room.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't have to be seashells. Maybe it's a symbol, like, hey, whatever your symbol is that gets you to the point where you need to be for your clan, like, that's a symbol you use.
That's not the traditional. The tradition is take a stone. You take a stone from this area, you put it on top. You don't bring seashells or seaweed. You don't bring wood from some other island. You don't bring a lucky rock. You don't bring gold from Gold Town.
It's a
You
stone
put a
from
stone
this island.
from our island.
But
yes.
if it wasn't for her seeing the seashell and then following that path through the ocean, like
Then
she got help, and without the help, that island may have been destroyed.
then we'll build you a statue, man.
Keep it as a souvenir.
Yeah.
But you need to put a stone
Thank
on our
you.
stone.
Thank you.
Shrine.
Oh my god. See, what I thought was going to happen, I thought that inevitably she was going to put the Heartstone back. I thought she was going to get like a Heartstone or some sort of replica or some sort of part of the god Te Fiti.
Te Fiti.
And like the Heartstone would be like on her, for her stone, like that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that would have been fine. But yeah, the seashell thing, man, nah.
I mean, you could argue that the next chief just picks up the shell, puts their stone on there.
But
then
now
puts the
she's
shell
always
back.
on top.
Now she's always on top.
That's not-
you
she
mess with the
saved,
order.
she saved the clan.
So
the
what?
tribe. I'm just being theoretical. Don't give me such a hard time about it.
No,
But yeah, that was interesting.
I thought it was cool, but I do think it messes with tradition.
I agree.
The start of the second one, her dad's just like, no, you go put a stone back on it right now. That's not how it works.
Oh man, yeah, I felt that was a little bit off too, Garrett. All right, so you want to go over, Joshua, what we got coming up?
Or do you want to go over?
Yes, I was going to mention that. So before this podcast started, everybody, I asked Johnny and Garrett if they did the traditional Marvel thing and did they wait for the end scene credits.
Oh yeah.
And Johnny, you said.
Well, I didn't stay.
Yeah, you didn't. And Garrett, you said.
My girlfriend wasn't feeling
Don't blame
well.
it on her.
No,
Well,
I
you
would have
be a-
stayed.
You be a man and you just admit that. You don't blame it on her.
She wasn't feeling well. So
Johnny,
we did not-
if your
we
wife
missed it.
wasn't feeling good and wanted to leave, you're saying that you would not leave for her?
I would leave for her.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
I'm just proving Garrett's point. That's all.
Yeah, but I would,
Nothing against you or your wife. I'm just proving Garrett's
I
point.
would just take my lump and say that we left. I wouldn't put it on her.
You guys
as
are
an
a fighting
excuse.
family. You guys are a fighting family. No, so I just happened to stay. I had a couple texts coming through, and I was like, I'll just wait. You never know. And there was an end credit scene.
I'm so mad.
Yeah, I'm not happy.
It
to
wasn't
hear this.
super big. It was the crab. I forget the crab's name.
The shiny one?
The
Yes.
stupid villain.
Yeah. So after the fight, he ends up lying on his back. So at the end credit scene, he's still on his back. He's like, "Yeah, I'm still here. I can't get up. Somebody help me." He's like, "No, nobody." So if I was a shiny little crab that had an accent or something, I bet you guys would help me, huh? If my name was Sebastian, I guess you guys would help me, huh? You make a complete Little Mermaid reference where if he was a popular little crab, someone would come help him, and yeah, apparently he wasn't.
That's
pretty
funny.
good. That's pretty
It
good.
was somewhat funny, but I was like,
I was looking for references throughout that whole movie. I couldn't catch any. I didn't catch any references to other Disney movies. I was kind of thinking when Maui was upper half man, lower half shark. I thought they were going to make some kind of mermaid reference or something like that. But, I mean, I guess not, because mermaids aren't really part of that culture.
No.
So I was looking. I didn't find any. I'm sure there's plenty there. So
I don't think
looking
so,
forward to
though.
seeing those.
It's not like they have like a huge backtrack of movies to have references to for their Walt Disney animation with their 3D stuff.
Well, it's not even just their 3D stuff. They can also call back to just Disney movies in general.
Maybe. That seems a little like...
I mean, even Marvel did it with Pinocchio. Age of Ultron?
Oh, okay. Yeah, you got no strings on me. Yeah. Okay. All right. I see that now. All right, so we want to go over the next movies, Joshua?
yeah. So something that I don't know if it was in your guys' trailers, but the next Cars movie was a
Yes.
trailer in my movie theater.
I probably
Yes.
missed that.
I saw it was just a little teaser thing.
Yeah, it was
But,
just
yeah.
it showed like a NASCAR like track race. You see a bunch of lights, a bunch of people screaming, and then you see Lightning McQueen. You see a little bit of him. It looks more realistic than cartoony. And then he essentially crashes into a
control.
wall, loses control, and then you see him flipping over.
And
One of his
sparks.
wheels gone, sparks are gone, his eyes are closed, and then it said, what did it say again?
Summer 2017.
Yeah.
No!
It said, stay
Oh.
tuned. This is
From this moment
th-
forward or something like that.
Like this is the beginning of the end or something, some word catchphrase like that.
Oh, man.
And then 2017. So that's Cars, whether it be Cars 3, it's
Well,
definitely
it's
a
gonna be
Cars movie.
3. It's going to be Cars
It's definitely a Cars movie. So that's coming out in July. And then Coco in November.
That's going to be like
next year.
a Day of the Dead, so Dia de
Yeah,
los
they actually have
Muertos.
to change the name. I forgot what it was going to be called, but there were some complaints over culture, so they changed the name to Coco. But yeah, it's sort of Day de las Muertas? Day de los Muertas? Day of the Dead.
Yeah, Day of the Dead.
Yeah, I'm just going
Dia
with
de los
Dios de las Muertas.
Thank you.
Yep. And
Someone's
then,
laughing at us so
yeah,
hard.
no,
right
someone's
now.
laughing at me.
yeah, so middle and late 2017, and then in 2018 you have Gigantic, Beanstalk movie.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. Toy Story 4 is scheduled for June of 2018.
Yeah, man.
And Incredibles 2 is June of 2019. So Toy Story 4 and Incredibles 2, the dates have switched recently. It was supposed to be Incredibles in 2018 and Toy Story in 2019, but those got flipped.
Yeah, so we got some good stuff coming up, though. Got a long time to wait, but Pixar and Disney Animation, they're bringing some cool stuff.
Okay.
Always.
And then, sorry, I keep remembering stuff. One last thing. The little short film before Moana started.
Inner Workings.
Yeah. How'd you like it?
I thought it was good. I mean, it pretty much was like, go live your life kind of thing. Don't just live to work. And I know a lot of people who just live to work, and it's not cool.
It was funny, depressing, and realistic.
It was very realistic, and like, there's no option. Like, I'm thinking, like, what's he gonna do? Like, he still has to go to work.
Yeah, it's just like, I like how it was focused on the brain, and it was organs, essentially.
So,
you got brain, heart,
did you see the scene?
Stomach.
Did you catch that part when he was in the water and like they show us bladder and it was
yeah,
yellow?
Yeah,
and then
it was
he
gone.
pees in the water?
Because people do that. People do that, especially if they haven't been in water for that much time.
I thought it was funny all the way that the brain thought, no, don't do this, we could end up dead.
Yeah.
And it kept
like,
kind of that same.
He's like, no.
and the coffins would change. You know, don't eat breakfast, you'll get fat. And then there's a big coffin.
Yeah.
You know, there's one with a coffin in the shark's mouth.
Yeah, I think the funny part, what kept me laughing each time, and a lot of the people in the theater, you see the scene, it's got the little eerie music in the background. It's just the priest. It was very clever.
Yeah,
it was cute, but I mean, sadly, he still has to work.
Got himself a shoddy.
Yeah, he did.
A what?
A shoddy.
Shouty.
Yeah, that whole sequence was pretty cool because you didn't know what to expect next. You're like, okay, I guess he's going to work, but he's not going to. Okay, he is going to work,
but now
everyone's
he's having
dancing.
fun at work.
Yeah, so that was.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of a message where work is kind of what you make of it. I mean,
that's not true.
It to a certain extent.
If I work as a janitor, I'm a janitor.
You can have fun with it though. Pop some music on, dance while you're mopping.
They have a rule that I can't listen to music while I'm working. What now?
Make music in your head. Like honestly, I understand what you're saying, that it's not so easy. I mean, believe me, I know. I work too. But a job is really what you make of it. And whether you a lot of times what makes a job fun is the people that you work with. But that can also be why a job is not so fun.
Okay.
I think work is just what you make of it.
I think work sucks.
Well,
yeah,
obviously.
I wish I didn't have to do it. But
You just lay there and get paid?
no, I get paid. I wish we had like some sort of system where like, I do something for someone and then like he does something for me. We just trade services.
Johnny, the next time you're not feeling so hot at work, just run out, get yourself some big, bold pancake breakfast and go jump in the ocean and take a
Have a
piss.
good time.
And then get a shouty.
Yep.
And get a shower.
I already have
Wear
a
some
shouty.
sunglasses. You notice that they showed a quick scene where he had 2 kids.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I did
With
catch that.
with the shouty.
Yep.
Shoddy.
Yep. I got my first kid with my shouty on the way. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, first time making that
Yeah, we
public.
actually never talked about that before.
No.
I have a little baby coming.
You may cut this out.
What?
No.
Oh, I won't cut it out.
Mr.
I'll cut this part out, but
Yeah, baby Joshua.
Name's
Yeah.
not gonna be-
Yeah.
okay. You keep saying this. We're not gonna name my kid Joshua.
You haven't said the name yet, so we'll see.
We're gonna name him Josh.
No,
Just to spite
it's
you.
Joshua, not Josh.
All right, guys. So that is our review of Disney's Moana. Let us know what you thought of the review. If you agree, if you disagree, you can hit us up by email supercoopsquad@gmail.com. If anyone reviews us, send us a little review, just a paragraph or so. We're gonna go ahead and get you a Moana and whatever the pig's name is.
Well,
Moana.
Pua?
I bet that's
Pua?
pig in,
I think it's
in,
Pua.
in
Pua.
whatever language they
Pua.
speak. But yeah, so if you leave us a quick little email with your thoughts and review. That's him shaking. He's shaking the pop. He's breaking it. If you leave us a review on what you thought of Moana in the film, just a quick little email with a paragraph or two, talking about what you love, what you didn't like. Yeah, tweet or whatever we think is the best concise form. We're gonna go ahead and get you that Moana pop. So reach out to us, guys. Again, we appreciate you guys listening to us. We know that you can listen to many other podcasts. If you guys choose to listen to us, we appreciate that. We we love what we're doing, and we hope that you love it as well. And we'll be back with you guys next week. Once again, I'm Johnny.
I'm Joshua.
I'm Garrett.